What's happening, everyone? Welcome to the channel, and I appreciate you being here today. And today I'm going to teach you how to apply a wave effect, more specifically waves in hair and clothing, as if this anime girl's hair here and clothing are blowing in the wind. So what outcome are we looking for today? Well, we are essentially going to move this anime girl's hair in different speeds and angles in a directional manner. We are also going to move the clothing in a directional manner too. So basically, she looks like a badass katana girl standing with wind blowing all the way past her. So, where do we start? So the first thing to do, in my case, I will give you a bonus lesson at the end as well, just to give it a bit more effect as well. But I digress. So we'll start with putting on a effect on the add button over here, and we'll go for the water waves effect and click OK. Now don't worry about this too much. All you got to do to get rid of that is press the opacity mask on the right hand side here and click paint, and there you have it, stopped. So this is what we're going to need anyway, so good job we're here. Now I tend to drop the scale down quite considerably for the first half of this until I find a suitable scale to bring it up. So let's stick with 20. Speed, I'll probably stick with 5 for the speed actually. The strength we're going to drop down to about 0.0, probably 0.04 actually is quite average. So we'll stick with that and see how we get on. So I like to, I don't know about you but I tend to like my wallpapers moving all the time. And in this case, I'm going to directionally move her hair this way. And then obviously, as you can see, this piece of hair here is going kind of up and then that way. So we can kind of manipulate that and the other ones here in front of the katana to how we want it, basically. So for now, let's just go with a, let's say, I'd probably say a 70 actually. Yeah, I'll probably say a 70 degree angle is quite a nice angle there actually. Yeah, so as I was saying before, I don't know about you, but I kind of like start off with the back of the hair first, and then work my way to the front, so it doesn't look too bad then. With any wallpaper, I think everyone pretty much know that. Oops. But yeah, I digress. So let's start at the back. We'll go for the hair just here, and we'll go all the way up the back here and work our way all the way down. So let's just drop this down a touch. I don't want it too strengthy. Actually, you know what? No, just leave it. Just leave it like that. We will drop the size down by 2. There you go. And let's do this. So one long strength. Nice strokes of hair at the back. Not too bad, actually. Now, as you can see, we have a nice wavy pattern at the back here. Now, that's probably going to be okay for me, to be fair. Just get this out there, that's fine. That's fine, that's completely fine. I will go for this one next and this one. So by the looks of it, it goes that way. So yeah, we'll start going from about, let's drop this down a little bit to about 8. Does my have to go on the outside, I suppose, a little bit. I won't include all of this. You know, you go at your own pace, sort of thing. And I won't waste your time too much, because it's going to be a lot of fiddling, a lot of like this and that to do, and all that. That's fine actually. Like that's not too bad. That's part of the back of the hair anyway, I think. So we can move that a little bit. Yeah, so what I might do is I'll cut off it's a little tricky, as I said. Going down to 2 pixels here is it's quite uncommon really, but nonetheless it still works. Might have to drop the strength just maybe by 1 more. Okay, so excellent. So as you can see now, it's kind of going in the way I want it, but it's going to take a while, so I won't put all of it on, but you get the general idea of what I'm trying to achieve. So in that case, I'll just leave those 2 and just do what I'll do is I'll do the top half of this just for an example, and then I'm going to finish the rest off another time, just because I didn't realize how long this was going to take. So we'll just skip like just the rest of this, and we'll just focus on the top half, just so you get the general idea of what I'm talking about. So we're going to press OK. Alright, then we're going to go back onto this and drag in another water waves effect. Go on to paint, but this time what we're going to do is focus on the top of the hair and maybe the follicles of the hair here, going all the way down and around. Let's go, and first off we need to drop our scale again to about 20, and then drop our strength to 0.04 with a direction this time at 90 degrees. And there we go. Right, let's get started. So it's a very nice motion. Ooh, I went a bit too far then. Like I say, you don't want to go too far and end up hitting the actual back hair, because it would just wouldn't look right. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to reach the back of the hair there and there. I won't hit the pin, just because the whole point of a hairpin is to keep, obviously, hair from blowing in your face. So Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Not a problemo. Ooh. Bit too far then. Might need to downsize that a touch on that point. But generally what you're going for is just nice gentle strokes. Nothing too hasty, nothing too strenuous. We're gonna have to probably drop the strength down quite a bit more, just because of the back hair being the way it is, which is a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. So let's drop it down to 0.1. Not 0.1, maybe 2. 2 looks good. So let's increase the speed to 10. And then give the scale a little bit more. So you see what I mean? By you can adjust the scale to however you want it, and the speed and everything like that, and it would still look okay. Granted, it's not the best, but it's the best we can do for this particular character. But yeah, so I think that's all right actually. To be fair, not too bad at all. Let me just do the rest of these hair follicles here, going all the way down to here. Let me do that part there. I think that's the part of the back hair there actually. Just doing a double check. Let's drop this down a little bit. Just do a little tweaks here and there. I think we'll be alright actually with that. Okay, so there you have it. For the top half, we're going in a slightly different direction. We've got a slightly different scale, different speed, and different strength too, just because of the back of the hair. I mean, you can play around with the strength if you want for the back hair, and then like make it less on this one. Say if you make that into the back hair into like a 0.05 and then put this to 0.03 to make it a little bit more effective, you can do that if you really want to. Yeah, but I'm not going to play around with it too much, just because it's going to be time consuming for you guys as well it is for my time too. But however, you have the general idea of how to make yeah, your hair, or any hair in particular, go in a wavy motion. I don't generally touch perspective that often, to be honest. I generally just go for strength because it's the same thing really. It's just your like different, literally it's a different perspective, and it just doesn't look good if it's like higher than 1. So, or what is it, 0.01 rather. So yeah, but I digress. Anyway, so we'll go for the clothing next. The clothing shouldn't be too bad actually. you can normally get some good stuff out of this with the clothing. But anyway, we're going for another waterways now. You can name these, by the way. I choose not to, just because it's an example. But if I needed to, I could just do that, and would know that it's for the clothing. So if I go out of here now, for example, and then I go in to here, the effects, and you see clothing, and then you know which one's which. So I'm not that, I mean, I normally generally organise myself quite often, but when it comes to examples and tutorials and stuff, I don't normally do it. Let's go for this. So again, what we're going to do is make this probably a 30 in scale. Speed and strength. I think strength can stay like that for a minute, actually, because what I tend to do is use the strength as a sort of a beacon, you could say. Like so. But the direction, what we're going to be doing, is going in a sort of directional manner, just like this. About 130 is just about right, I think. Now the strength we're going to take down to 0.04, which is ideal for any water waves, to be fair. And we're just going to go around the outside of the skirt here. Don't worry about that. We can always come back to that and use the and just delete it. Game with the hair. Okay, let's go probably a little bit less. Just get in between the hair follicles here. Again, don't worry about the strength. The hair, sorry. On there for a minute. It will be fine. To be fair, what you could do is just do the hair here, and then maybe just let go with the skirt for a minute. See, to me, that's a little bit too. It might sound a bit lewd, but it looks a bit stiff to me. So I'm going to up the scale a little bit. I know, great choice of words, right? So I'm going to up the scale just a touch to maybe 35 is a good one. 35. See what I mean with the wave emotion here? Goes like that. That's a bit better than it was before. It was doing like one little big wave here, one little big wave. I mean one big wave, and then a little wave after. And it just didn't look right. Didn't sit right with me. So yeah, we'll go with that. That looks ideal. We'll didn't mean to do that. We'll go down with the hair now. Now, granted, we're probably going to get a little bit blurriness, but essentially the outcome will be won't be too bad. Shouldn't be too bad. We can always lessen the strength a little bit more if we so need to, and then just up the speed like we did last time with the front. Just go in the general direction of where the hair's going. You'll be fine. That looks fine. So yeah, as you can see, we've got a pretty stable skirt movement there. Actually, I'm quite satisfied with that. Just gonna probably have to fiddle around with this again, but again, general idea, general example of what we're going with. That is the way we go for what we're going for at the moment. So again, you can adjust the strength, speed, and the scale to what you want. Now, as another example, what I'm going to show you, this is going to be like kind of a bonus. If you ever want to make something like, say if you got like this wavy hair, for example, that's really wavy. And what you could do is use your opacity mask on like the back of the hair here, but put it up to like, you know, do the general scale of the whole hair here and have it all moving like that. This is just an example, just so you know. And then say if you wanted to up your scale just a bit, say to like there, up your strength a bit more. Let's just do that for a minute. Have the direction going, well, general direction going this way, which is pretty snazzy actually. I like that. That's cool. And then if you want to up your speed a bit, you can do that. Just drop the scale a touch, or you can do that and then drop the scale to I think that's fine. What you could do this, but also do this. So if you go into your picture, go on add, get a water ripple, press OK. It would do the same thing as what it did before with the water waves. But what you could do is you could also go with the hair. Hear me out. Okay. And you could bring the ratio down a bit. Have the animation speed up. The ripple scale down. For, let's say, probably like that, I would say. Have the ripple strength not too much. Let's do the ratio a bit more. Now, like that. There we go. So it either looks like, say if you got press OK, add asset, and if we got fire, probably not a torch actually, probably go for wildfire. Let's do that. Bring it up a bit. Now you can see the flame going up into her hair. And also, like, you can see sort of the ripples of the heat that's coming off the flames into her hair. If you get in a spot of bother, for example, if you're struggling like I was pretty much with this this particular model, with the hair and everything like that, you could always try and cover it by doing like this scale and everything like that. And you can even put your perspective up a little bit if you really wanted to. Again, I don't bother with it, but just go with the strength. I digress though, but you could either do that, or you can make it as though she's underwater, which I think these are bubbles that are in her hair anyway. So let's get some bubbles and ocean bubbles. And say if we did that, drop the speed down a little bit, probably the size too. But it also looks like she's kind of underwater. Let's up the scale, the count, sorry. But you could also do that. So that's kind of like a bonus lesson for you. But in any case, I mean, that's pretty much how it goes with how I experiment with my models, you could say. But yeah, again, it's completely up to you how you perceive things and how you do things. But I think that is pretty much what you need to learn, guys. So the tutorial is now over, so thanks very much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, and if you liked the video, please remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below on your thoughts. And yeah, and if you want to check out my workshop as well on Steam, you're more than free to do so. It'll be in the link in the description box below. Yeah, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.